Okay. What's up, everybody? Good morning. Welcome to a Saturday game day edition of Morning Scone, presented by Brock, the Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic. Hudco Roofing, HudcoRoofing.com. Restored Motions, RestoredMotions.com, and ProCharge EV, ProChargeEV.com. Well, the day is upon us. Game time is nigh. LSU and Alabama. By the time they tee it up and kick it off, it could be for sole possession of the lead in the SEC West. That is, of course, if Ole Miss throws up on itself at home against Texas A&M, which Ole Miss, the runt that they are, is liable to do. So my goodness, what a night it will be to watch Jaden Daniels and the LSU offense go up and down the field on this Alabama defense, to watch this LSU offense humble and humiliate this Alabama defense, and hopefully to watch the LSU defense be just good enough to make sure that they can get out of there with a win. Tigers tied, 6:45 p.m. on CBS. Okay. All right, y'all. We'll say some good mornings. I have a feeling I know what everybody wants to know. I always do my pick at the end of the show, and I've never been, I shouldn't say never. I can't remember a time when I was more conflicted about making a pick than I was this one. Because, and just to be very transparent, I think a lot of you know this about me, but I just want to talk through it. I do my very, very, very best to tell you what I actually think and feel, not what you want me to say. Meaning, if I think LSU is going to win, I'm going to tell you. If I think LSU is going to lose, I'm going to tell you. But sometimes in an effort to be close to center, right? Not to be looking with my purple and gold glasses and not to be like a hater. In an effort to try to be as objective as I can, bringing myself from over here where I am a giant LSU fan and an alum and all that, and try to bring myself to the middle to see it neutrally. Sometimes I miss the mark at center and go too far this way. And I'm wondering if that's the case right now. Because realistically, and I've watched a lot of Alabama, I don't think, Alabama's defense isn't overwhelming. They're really good, but they're not overwhelming. And this is by a mile the best offense Alabama will have faced all year. And Phil Steele said this on AFR yesterday. Phil Steele said, look, Alabama's holding its opponents about 115 yards per game below their season total average. Okay, let's assume Bama holds LSU 115 yards below its season total average. That means LSU's still putting up 430 yards in this game. And if LSU goes to Tuscaloosa tonight and puts up 430 yards of offense, they're going to score in the 30s. And the question is that good enough to hold up? So then you look at the LSU defense. And the LSU defense is not good. I do not believe that they're improved dramatically. Are they better than they were against Ole Miss? Probably. But Auburn and Army is fool's gold. But I also look at the offenses that gave LSU a lot of trouble, like Ole Miss and Missouri and Arkansas, and Bama ain't like them. Bama's offense is ranked 70th nationally, and I don't think they're the team that that's the one that can put up 50 on LSU. You know what I mean? So I kind of feel like if it was any other uniform, any other helmet, then that one, this would be a pretty easy pick for me. And I'd pick LSU. But it's not, and it's Nick Saban, and it's Tuscaloosa, and it's Alabama, and blah, 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 blah. Which has given me an awful lot of pause, and I also know how bad the LSU defense is, and how, Nick's history as coming off a loss to a team and not losing back-to-back games to a team and all that sort of stuff. So, I think this is a really McAfee. Oh, he cut his sleeves. I think it's. I've struggled. I'm being very honest with you all. I've struggled with trying to decide which direction to go with this game. I decided 37-34 was my final. And I said yesterday on AFR, 37-34, I said my head says Bama, my heart says LSU. But, I think we're going to have a close game, a great game. And I'll tell you one thing I do believe is going to happen. I do believe that LSU is going to have an early lead and a halftime lead in this game. Alabama's trailed 3 conference games at half. They trailed Ole Miss at half. They trailed A&M at half. They trailed Tennessee at half. They trailed Tennessee by 13. The question is, can you make those adjustments and make sure you don't get run over in the second half? So here's hoping, y'all. Okay, let's say some good mornings. Blake Rabb, Blake Betts. Good morning, Matt. Wife and I drove up last night for the game. Feel confident Brian Kelly will have Jaden and the boys ready to play a competitive game. O-line getting pushed will be the key. LSU 41-38. Have a great one. Okay. If LSU scores in the 40s, I think they win. I think we're probably got a mid-upper 30s game. But if LSU gets into the 40s, I think they win, for sure. For sure. Brandon Hoyt, Jacob Willis, good morning. Bruce Parker, good morning. What helps LSU more, Ole Miss or Texas A&M or Texas A&M for winning? Well, A&M, because you need Ole Miss to lose again, because they're ahead of you in the standings. So you need Ole Miss to lose. So, and we're all assuming they'll lose next week to Georgia. But until that happens, like if LSU beats Bama, if Ole Miss loses today and then LSU beats Bama tonight, then LSU controls its destiny in the West. You go beat Florida and Texas A&M, you're back to Atlanta. Mark Bacon, good morning. Megan Hurst, good morning. Xeon Imaging, good morning. Happy game day. Tony Williams, Jeff McKithen, John Hendricks, good morning. What up, John? Let's see. John said, sorry, I missed it. Where is it? There it is. Is this the last LSU CBS game? I heard they didn't renew the contract with the SEC. So that's not exactly what happened there, John. CBS got outbid. So starting next year, ESPN, ABC has the entire SEC contract. So the SEC on CBS goes away after this year, yes. But LSU could be back on CBS again next week. And as a matter of fact, if they win tonight, I think LSU will play Florida at 2:30 next week on CBS. So CBS exercised the 6-day hold. Normally on Monday, they announce the TV windows for the following week. And CBS has the option of taking a 6-day hold so they can wait and see the results of Saturday's games. So basically CBS waiting to see what happens here, because if Florida beats Arkansas and LSU beats A&M, then LSU Florida will be 2:30 in Baton Rouge next week. If LSU loses here, then LSU Florida is likely a night game next week on ESPN. Rocky Killian, good morning, Matt. Brian Kelly says they won't use Perkins as a spy. He didn't say that. He didn't say that. He didn't say they won't. He was asked about using Harold Perkins as a spy, and he talked about when you do that, the advantages that you might give up. But he didn't say they won't use him as a spy. And I also don't love using Harold Perkins as a spy. Tried to do that on Jordan Travis in week 1. He kept getting caught up in the wash in the middle of the defense. I'd rather him coming off the edge. He'd come off the edge and go kill the quarterback. Lance Richard, could this game come down to winning the coin toss and scoring a touchdown to start the second half? Maybe. But ultimately, even if you do that, you still got an entire second half to play. But I think that's very important, Lance, because you have the opportunity. Nate Bargatze, you have the opportunity to go back, to go back to back potentially scores, and that could either tie it or put you up in the game or put you up 2 scores in the game. What do y'all think of Nate Erica loves Nate Bargatze. I got to tell you all this. If you're not familiar, so Nate Bargatze is a comedian. He just hosted Saturday Night Live last weekend, and he's a College Game Day guest picker today. He's a comedian. He's from Tennessee, so I don't know why he's at this. I don't know that he's an Alabama fan. Maybe he is, but he's from Tennessee. But the funny thing is, I didn't know anything about that guy, and Erica starts telling me, you got to watch this guy. He's so funny. She started seeing his stuff on TikTok. Clips from one of his Amazon or Netflix specials. And she goes, yeah, his name's Nate Burzygate. He's so funny. And so I don't know any better. I'm calling out Nate Burzygate. Nate Burzygate. And then he starts his real rise to prominence. And then one night he's on the Tonight Show with Fallon. And I go, oh, look, Erica, it's your guy. It's Nate Burzygate. Anyway, and so he's doing his stand-up deal, whatever, and then Fallon goes, Nate Bargatze, ladies and gentlemen. I went, rewind. So what you say that guy's name is? Burzygate? I went, play. Played it over. I'm like, you've been calling that man a wrong name. Had me calling him the wrong name. Anyway, so Nate Burzygate. So we still call him Burzygate, but it's Nate Bargatze. He's hilarious. He did great. We actually I DVR'd his SNL last week, and I watched it last night. All right, let's say some good mornings over here on YouTube. My bad, guys. A little late getting over here to you. Brian Thomas, what's up? Hopefully not that Brian Thomas. BT11. Donald AB, Shane O'Mac, Trivia Carter, Dustin Fontenot, Brad Johnson, Ross Meir. What up? What up? What up? Brian said, just hoping it's competitive. Oh, brother, it's going to be competitive. This is the thing that I know so many of us have PTSD from a lot of these Alabama games in the past. But you cannot forget, you cannot ignore the fact that LSU has the number 1 offense in college football. They're averaging in conference play 44 points and 550 yards per game. That's in conference play. And yes, Alabama's got a good defense, but Alabama's defense, first of all, they aren't what they were in years past. And secondly, this isn't even the style of offense and defense that you'd play whenever you'd see those oppressive, 20-17 games, the 17-14 games, the 9-6. Stylistically, it's completely different. And so LSU's going to put up yards and going to put up points. I mean, back in for those games, it used to feel like every yard, every first down was an accomplishment. Yeah, it just ain't that. LSU's going there tonight, they're going to score. They're going to score a lot. But look at, when you look at, the best defenses a year ago, here you go. Illinois had the best scoring defense in the country last year. Georgia was 2. Of course, they won the Natty. Minnesota, Air Force, and Michigan. That was your top 5 scoring defenses. You know what I mean? Georgia was 2 and won the Natty, but Georgia was also the 5th best offense in college football last year. It was Tennessee, which, of course, then Hendon Hooker got hurt, but Tennessee, Washington, Southern Cal, UCLA, Georgia. Go back to 21. Georgia won the Natty in 21. Georgia had the number 1 defense in the country that year as well. That was the crazy Georgia defense out of the whole freaking team drafted. 2020 Natty was Alabama. They're the 4th best offense in college football. Here's your top 5 defenses in college football in 2020. Marshall, Army, Air Force, BYU, Northwestern. You know what I mean? Like, even if you go to that was points allowed, yards allowed in 2020. Army, Marshall, San Diego State, West Virginia, Wisconsin. Guys, I guess my point is like, we are watching. I mean, you want to talk 2019? 2019, number one offense in the country, LSU. Number one defense, Clemson allowed 10 points a game. How did that go in the dome? You know what I mean? Like, it's an offensive game, man. Like, LSU is going to go there. It's like to say you just hope it's competitive. Nah, man. LSU's going to go there, and they're going to put up a ton of yards, a ton of points. It's why I'm so bummed that this defense is so historically bad, because if they were just good enough, like just good enough, like just not awful, you know? What did Lane say? Apparently he just had a walk-off on there. Anyway, all right, let's see. King David, morning, so ready for tonight. Brad David, good morning. JN3, good morning, Matt. Let's go. Tigers beat the stump jumpers. Make defense great again. Morning, Matt. Bama stole my idea that I texted you the other day. They had Brad Nessler on their coach's show. Somebody texted me and said to get, I don't remember that about Nessler. Someone said get Gary Danielson on. I talked to Gary this summer at SC Media Days. He was good. Will Davis, good morning. Ross Meir, can you go over Phil Steele's picks, please, and yours? Honestly, no, because there were a lot, and they're on my phone, which is where YouTube is broadcasting right now. So I would just highly recommend, I mean, you're on YouTube, so just go to the AFR YouTube from yesterday and just scroll, and you can get Phil's picks. And then I also obviously would recommend going to the Phil Steele Plus Tour and getting Phil's plays that he gives out on the Phil Steele Plus Tour. Phil was 9-3 last week on the Phil Steele Plus Tour. I mean, he is an ATM right now. Joey Metge, or Ross, I'll tell you what, if you, like, after the show, if you shoot me a message, I'll send you the list of them. But I literally can't right now because they're on my phone. Cliff Nelson, good morning, Scone. Cookie menu. Cliff can confirm cookies were baked last night. And according to my sources, of the cookies that were baked last night, there were some with a yellow hue. I cannot confirm whether they were your favorites or something else, but I am confident, according to my sources, that there were yellow cookies baked in the Scone kitchen last night. Ryan Pike, if the over is clear and obvious, I should probably take the under, right? Do what you want, brother, but LSU's team total over has hit every game this year, by the way. Hey, Dad, good morning. B. Lorkey, good morning. Larry Gardner, Shane O'Mac. I see a lot of zone defense being played, the LSU secondary. Keep everything in front, force Milrow to drive the ball methodically. Yes, Shane, that's in theory great, but there's two problems with it, because that's what LSU's tried to do all year. Because after the Florida State game, they realized they couldn't cover man-to-man when everyone got mossed by Keon Coleman. The two problems that you have is, number one, LSU doesn't tackle very well, because a big part of playing zone is you have to be able to tackle the ball in front of you, and LSU's not very good at that. And number two, when you're going to play coverage, everyone has to know their assignments and not screw that up. And you've done a very poor job of that as well. So it's way easier to play man. You got him, you got him, you got him. But LSU, in a lot of games, hasn't been talented enough at cornerback to play man coverage. So In theory, what you're saying makes sense. Yes, Jalen Milroe, who averages more than 16 yards of completion, doesn't have a lot of pass attempts. Like the Arkansas game, if I'm not mistaken, Jalen Milroe was like 10 of 20 for 200 some odd yards. Here you go. Yeah, Arkansas. 10 of 21 for 238 and 2 touchdowns. He completed 47% of his passes, but he averaged 23 yards of completion. I mean, that's what he lives on. Like, so yeah, if you can make him have to throw the ball 30 times, like that's what happened in the A&M game. He was 21 of 33 for 321, and they only put up 26 points. And they were trailing at half. So yeah, if you can make him have to throw, you stop throwing, make him have to throw the ball, you take him out of the thing that he wants to do, that they do really well, or that they do best, I should say. But you got to execute it, man, and that's the problem. That's been the problem for LSU. Wendell Norman, B1NG James. I got LSU minus 13. Oh, God. Okay. Devin Johnson, good. LSU by 2 touchdowns, yeah, with that defense. It's not that LSU can't score. You're right to have trust in Jaden. You're wrong to have any faith whatsoever in LSU's defense. That's the kind of thing where I just laugh. Like, is LSU capable of winning the game? Yes. Is Jaden Daniels capable of having a great night and moving the ball and scoring? Yes. If you think LSU's defense is going to Tuscaloosa and shutting down Alabama's offense, you're high. So if LSU's going to win by 13, they'd have to win like a 45-32 game, which I guess that could happen. I'm not sure I believe it. Like maybe LSU's up 6 and they get a late pick 6, like what happened against Missouri. Like maybe that could happen. Devin Johnson, let's see, Jude Sansing, just saying, even if LSU wins, they'll still find a way to wet themselves against Florida or A&M. Well, that's a terrible attitude, Jude, and I want you to leave right now. I'm serious. Go away. It's LSU Bama Day. I have no room or tolerance whatsoever for a comment like that. Like normally, I would just move on, but not today. No. You don't get to be here today if you do that. That's not okay. We're singularly focused today. And it's all about today in this game and what the impact and implication of this game means. And also, Florida stinks. And if LSU has a chance to wrap up the West at home against A&M after last year's game went the way it did, get out of here. Rondo, Houghton in the house. Okay. Let's see, Alabama's defense will stop us a lot tonight. Don't be surprised when it being a low-scoring game. I will be surprised if it's a low-scoring game. Cliff Nelson, it's not beyond the realm possibility. Milroe will gift LSU a short field once or twice. I hope so. Brad David, are you surprised the line is high for the Saints Bears? No, the Bears stink. Hunter Picard, good morning. Game day, let's go. Eric Wildrider, morning Scone. Sorry if I missed this week, but has anyone asked BK about possible changes at punt returner or pressed him on all of the lost hidden yards there? Not that I remember, Eric. Not that I can think of. I know it's something I've talked about a lot. Cameron Tate, how do you think the young DBs will perform? You know, Cameron, it just can't be any worse than what we've already seen. I mean, literally. We saw the defense that you have give up 711 yards at Ole Miss. Literally the most ever in a game by an LSU defense. Literally, the most ever. Like, it can't be worse than that. It can't possibly be worse than that. So, like, do I think they're going to go and, like, just absolutely ball out and lock down Alabama and, holding the 17? No, I don't. Not in the slightest. But do I think they're going to do better than giving up 700 yards and 55 points? Yes, I do. How much better? Like, where is that margin? I think that's the question for the game. Make defense great again. LSU 38-31. I think we have a game in the 30s. I picked 37-34, so mid upper 30s. I think is what we're looking for. I mean, if they get to 31, that's 5 scoring possessions. 31 would be 4 touchdowns and a field goal. That's 5 scoring possessions. You know, if you average out 10 offensive possessions in a game, roughly, you're basically saying that LSU is going to get stops on 50%, on half of their possessions. And you know, I'd love to see that. I just don't know if I believe it. Peter Fenner, good morning. Been a while since I caught this live. All right, Peter, good to have you. Brambo, 45-34. Brandon Tilley, good morning. Go Tigers. Got to execute the win today. Can't wait to hear voiceless T-Bob on Whiskey and Wine tonight. T-Bob is hurting, man. T-Bob's got shingles and has really been fighting it, man. So I feel for him, dude. I don't know how he's going to feel tonight. That's shingles ain't nothing to mess with, man. So I really do feel for him. So I don't know. I haven't even really talked to him about that, but hope he's all right. All right, hang on one second. I'll be right back.
Someone you know, my Scone, Ontario. All you need is hard coat. Call hard coat roofing. 364-1007.
All right, sorry about that, y'all. All right, where are we? All right, smash the like button if you would. Subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much for being there. Jumping over to Facebook. Todd Harris, Kenneth Westbrook, Edward Olazewski, good morning. Chris Proctor, good morning. I have the exact same feelings, conflicted about the game. If we can establish the running game limit, Bama's running game, we win. Yeah, I don't really think Bama's running game is the key to it, man. Man, I just... Anyway. Tony Williams, love the Bama game, separates men from the boys. Deborah Cowart, Joseph Hamilton. What does the defense look like? If you're talking about personnel, you'll start Mason Smith and Jordan Jefferson on the inside. You'll have Braden Swinson / Ovie Gofu at Jack, and you'll have Savion Jones at the left end. You'll start Spates and Penn inside. Andre Sam and Major Burns will start at safety, and one of your corners will be Sage Ryan, and the other, I think, will either be LaTerrence Welch or Ashton Stamps. I think that's how you line it up in your base. I think your nickel might be Toviano tonight. So we'll see. Lowell Cormier, Joseph Hamilton, Buddy Bond. What are the chances LSU defense can stop Bama? Stop is the question. Like, what you have to define stop. Like, if LSU holds Bama in the 20s tonight, LSU's going to win the game. Period. I would be fall over stunned if Bama scores in the 20s and wins. I know we've talked about it because LSU had, in the Florida State game, 24 points. But again, that's misleading because LSU put up 460 yards of offense in that game and, moved up and down the field. And, on the opening possession of the ball game, I wish I had my notebook. On the opening possession of the ball game, LSU gets the ball and they go right down the field, just like last year. It's like deja vu. They get all the way down to the 1 yard line. You go all the way down to the 1 yard line and you go backwards. You get first and goal at the 1. Josh Williams can't get in. Well, you have Logan Diggs now. Second goal at the 1. Jaden Daniels throws an incomplete pass to Malik. Third and goal at the 1, incomplete. You go for it on fourth and goal at the 1, and you have the weird play where Jaden loses 13 yards. So you had 4 plays from the 1 yard line and didn't score in your first possession. Then they went down and scored. Then you get the ball and you go down and score. Then you hold them, they punt. Then you get the ball and you go right down the field again on them. They hadn't stopped you a lick. You get all the way down. You get fourth and 1 at their 13. So another red zone possession. And Jaden Daniels, he made the wrong read on the zone and gets tackled for a 2 yard loss. That right there alone is, that's 10 points at minimum from the 1 yard line, and then a field goal from the 13. So, minimum if you kick the field goal for those 6 points, you're at 30. You should have scored a touchdown, kicked a field goal. You'd have been at 34. And you say, they scored 45. Well, it's true, but remember how that went, man. It was a 1-score game going into the fourth quarter. And on the last play of the third quarter, you're going to tie the game. And you throw a deep ball down the left sideline at Brian Thomas, who dropped it. If Thomas catches that, he walks into the end zone, you're tied going into the fourth quarter. Instead, you're down 7. On the first play of the fourth quarter, you throw the interception because Malik Neighbors fell down. They get a short field score, and now you're down 14. It unraveled on you in the fourth. But if you're just looking at LSU scoring 24 against Florida State, it's so misleading. That wasn't a 3-score win for Florida State. It wasn't a 3-score game. It's not how that game went. Anyway, Megan Hurst, Bubba Smith, Kerry Hughes, good morning. I'll let Jaden have a historic run tonight on a big play like Bro did in 19. See you at Don Juan tonight. All right, Kerry, you're in town. Good deal, bro. Good deal, man. Look forward to seeing you. That'd be great, man. Very, very cool. Dang it. Sorry. 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 Manny Truncoso, so y'all smash the like button if you had 175 watching live on YouTube. Only 66 likes, please. Smash that like button. Subscribe to the channel too if you would. Appreciate that. Facebook, please like the Matt Scone page, share the post. Jeremy Sagely, Rocky Killian, sorry for the error. Had read a headline saying Brian Kelly would not be using Harold Perkins as a spy. Thanks for the correction. Oh, good dude. Clayton Knight, Rodney Griffin, is there any way to fix AFR on the podcast? It's playing last Friday's show? So Musso was out yesterday. Alondra's feeling she probably just uploaded the wrong date. God dog it. Okay, thank you for the heads up. I didn't know that. Man. Okay. Kerry Hughes, I hope to hear you say donkey and 60 at half. Maybe I'll bust out that shirt, dude. Kerry, I don't know if you probably will remember this since you remember that. So that what Kerry's talking about is when Jordy and I did Whiskey and Wine, we used to do a halftime update as well, remotely. We would go live on Facebook and you could like conference in someone that like do a split screen on Facebook, which is how we would do it then. And if you remember, LSU had that flurry right before half, and I was screaming, "Here comes 60, straight up your donkey." I mean, LSU scored 33 or whatever it was at the first half. But I went into my attic and I got the shirt I wore to every game in 2001. I was a student at LSU, and me and a group of friends had shirts made that said Davies Disciples for Rohan. And I wore it to literally every game day. Videos? Yeah. Okay, you want to come say hi to Dad show? No. No? Maybe later. Okay. Okay. All right. LSU wasn't relevant to Livy Dunn. Milroe's going to burrow his footballs in LSU. What? Signs are terrible. Anyway, so maybe what I'll do, Carrie, so I wore that Davies Disciple shirt every game in 2001. Of course, 2001 in Tuscaloosa is when Rohan threw for 500 yards. Josh Reed at 293 receiving. And I literally went into the attic, found that shirt, and I wore it that day. And maybe what I need to do is wear the Here Comes 60 straight up your donkey shirt today. Maybe that's what I got to do, is wear the Here Comes 60 straight up your donkey shirt today for the good mojo. I think that's what I'm going to do, Carrie. All right. Kelly Groves, TK Brown, good morning, buddy Bond. Why have we not used Sage Ryan as a kick returner? Because you have way better options. David Furr, Ramos walks it off 41-38. Would love to see it. Love the score. John Hendricks, I get a feeling this will be a shootout. Knowing Brian Kelly, who managed to kill the clock. Can't wait to see it. David Furr, do you think it's better to bring pressure on Milroe, risk big plays, yes. Yes. Because I think you need to be defensively opportunistic. And what I mean is you need to come up with the sack on 3rd and 7, maybe the strip sack that gets you an extra possession. Maybe you hit him as he throws, a fluttering ball interception. Like, that's going to be more valuable in this game, in my opinion, than your realistic opportunity to force them to go like 12 plays down the field. That's just not what they do, and you're not good enough in the secondary to stop them from hitting a deep ball. So, anyway. Corey Termine, me and the wife will be at Don Juan tonight. Okay. Look for you there, man. I'll be there at half. T-Ball will be there for the whole game. I'll be there at half. Tony Williams, Andre Sam is really good. Tony, I don't know if you're joking, but no, he ain't, bro. Poof. And the hard thing is, man, I'm not trying to criticize a young dude. He's playing hard on that, and he might be the best option you got right now. But I don't know how you could possibly look at the safeties LSU's had rolled through this program in the past and make a comment like that. Heath Lanier, what's up? I mean, Andre Sam. Oh, man. God, he was so bad in the Ole Miss game. Anyway, I don't want to focus on that. Jerry G, good morning. Dame 26, Matt, if LSU wins the toss, defer, take the ball. Defer, absolutely. Defer, you want the ball in the second half because you want the opportunity to go back-to-back. You want to be able to score at the end of the first half, hopefully get the ball, start the second half, have back-to-back possessions. And even if you don't, you want the extra possession in the second half 100%. This is going to be, I think this is going to come down to and look like the Arkansas, Ole Miss, Missouri games did, where both teams are scoring. It comes down to, can you get a stop in the fourth quarter and make that play. Yeah. That's cool. Glenn Garner, Ingalls had me running like crazy, putting food on the shelves for game day. I still caught you on time, 55-38 LSU. Glenn, please, from your keyboard to God's ears, 55 points on Bama tonight in Tuscaloosa. I mean, I think you're high, but I would love to see it. Guy Brooks, good morning. Matt and family have been waiting all week for this game. Brett, good morning. Nate is a Vandy guy, funniest guy in comedy today. The fact that he's 100% clean makes it even more impressive. I'm talking about Nate Bargatze, who's the guest picker. Brambo, score some more, force 3 punts. I mean, if you can get 2 stops a half, man. Give me 2 stops a half. Gorilla, good morning. Austin Kidder, good morning. Bama series, my favorite. I'll say the most thrilling was 2011. Best underdog win was easily 93 when the pigs fly. Make defense great again. Yeah, it's weird. 93 was just so unexpected because LSU was so bad and Bama was coming off. That was Curly and they were terrible. And, LSU was 2-9 the year before and Bama won the national championship. So, Antron Hemingway, good morning. Travis Broussard. Let's see, Brambo, Mizzou prepared LSU for this game. Mizzou was up 21-0 with good experienced offense. LSU's been rolling since the second half of that game. That's true, Brambo, but it's also naive to ignore the fact that you played Auburn and Army, who are 2 of the worst offenses in college football. This is a different challenge. Now Bama's offense is 70th in the country, so it's not like you're playing one of the truly elite offenses in college football. That's true. But Bama does have elite talent on offense. They haven't put it all together offensively, but they do have skill there. They're averaging 30 a game, which is 52nd in the country. Like if you hold them to your average, you're winning this game. If you hold them to 30, you give up 30 points to Alabama, you're going to win this football game. B. Wyman, Abner Neal, Swee, ABN. Dude, I watch you daily religiously. Thank you, man, so much. I appreciate that very much. Let's see. Shane, Danos, Dustin Fatnu. I wish this game was at 3:30. I live in South Carolina. This waiting all day for an away game is torture. Fast as Drew. Even Drew knows the offense is going to take it to him early. I would not be alive if I had that set behind you. I would have been dead long ago. I guess it means all the whiskey. And that's like, man, you're only looking at part of it too. It's like it's four shells. You don't get to like. Yeah, that's funny. All right, shout out to Brock, y'all. Banners with Be Clinic, HUDCO Roofing, HUDCORoofing.com. If LSU wins, can you get Mike D on whiskey and wine? I wish I could, man. No can do. Matt, can we get Drew on this morning? Hey, Drew! 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 Oh, he's coming. Hang on. Drew! He's coming. Hi! Come see! After Dad's show, we're going to get dressed. We'll go fry Daddy's car.
New car, Daddy's work.
New car to Daddy's work. We'll ride the elevator. Come see. Everybody wants to say hi to you. And then we'll go to car wash. We'll go to Benny's car wash. Come see. And then we'll go to Drew's house, watch football. Okay. What do we say? Hey. What do we say?
Hi.
Hi. Who do you see? Drew and Daddy. Yep. Hey. It's Saturday. Who plays football today?
LSU.
Hey, and what do we say when LSU's playing? What do we say? What do we say when LSU's playing?
LSU.
We say, good.
Go dog.
Go Tigers. Okay. And he's done. All right. Well, we got a brief appearance anyway, for good luck. Oh, they're doing the field goal kick. She said the Pat McAfee kick. It's a girl that's kicking. This is the first time they said this is the first time she's ever kicked a ball. I love her shoes though. I think she's wearing the Zions. I couldn't tell exactly, but I think she's wearing the Zions. I know those are Zions. Never mind. All right, let's see. Is she gonna punt it? Oh man, I feel like. Yeah, she's never kicked a ball ever. Oh, man. I don't watch this McAfee's kicking contest. I just hope she doesn't kick. I keep waiting for someone to kick Kirk's hand. Because Kirk is like holding this ball every week. You know, someone eventually is going to kick his hand. It might be her if she's never kicked anything before. This would be like the greatest upset story ever. There's no way she's not even getting off the ground. Oh God, she kicked him. She kicked him. She did get it elevated and end over end. It was just short. I think she kicked him. Kirk jumped up and was like, he's like walking it off right now. Oh no, he's good. Never mind. Anyway. Okay. Heath Lanier said no one nationally has given LSU a chance. Matt picked LSU and AFR, so I feel great about our chances. LOL, go Tigers. Heath, I don't know about that, Heath. There were a lot of people that picked. Oh, they're going through all the quarterbacks. There were a lot of people on it. I mean, last week Tim Brando picked LSU. Y'all help me out. There was a bunch of people that picked that picked LSU last week. I think Sean Salisbury did. I'm missing a few, but there were people that picked LSU. Okay. As always, shout out to Brock, y'all. Remember, if you need an orthopedist on this Saturday, Brock After Hours Clinic is open. Nights and weekends as an alternative to the ER. brortho.com, of course, Hudco Roofing. Love to give you that free, no obligation roofing inspection, no matter where you are in the state of Louisiana. Hudco Roofing, hudcoroofing.com. Let's see. Danny Cannell, Brady Quinn picked LSU. I'm going to go to the bottom and scroll my way up. Let's see. Cortland, what's going on? Cliff Nelson, if Bama starts slow again, LSU could jump to a big early lead, make Bama one-dimensional for 3 quarters, advantage LSU. The only way Bama wins games if they run the ball effectively. Thoughts? Bro, LSU's defense stinks, man. They're not good. Like it's like the last 2 games have lulled us into this false sense. I mean, I'm going to say the same example, y'all. Florida, their offense was atrocious. And then they played Vanderbilt and South Carolina. And for 2 weeks, Graham Mertz was the most efficient and effective quarterback in the country statistically. And everyone's like, oh, Graham Mertz, he's figured it out. They turned the corner. And then they played Georgia, and they're like, oh, no, he stinks. That was just because they played Bama. Just because they played Vandy in South Carolina. Like, I don't care that LSU shut out Army. Like, a home game against Auburn and Army is not this. So, no, man. I do think that Bama will try. Cliff, I do agree with you that Bama is going to try to shorten the game. I would agree with that. Bradley and Graphia, David Woodard. I wonder if Kirk Herbstreit will pick LSU on game day. Maybe. MB 2020B. I have an extremely strong feeling LSU defense shows up big and LSU wins by 10 or more. Yo, I'm not trying to be the negative guy. I'm not. I'm just telling you, you've got to stop. Like, you've got to be realistic with your understanding of what LSU is defensively. Like, I don't want you to go into this game thinking like that LSU's defense is going to go have this incredible day and lock them down. And then be really disappointed when that doesn't happen. Like, that's not the kind of game LSU is going to be able to win. Anyway. Let's see, Cortland, 42-38 LSU. Mac 34, update on Greg Brooks. Greg had another procedure. He's up at St. Jude in Memphis. Just continue his recovery, man. You know, continue to pray for him because it's got a long road ahead, man. Nico Hernandez hoping for a perfect weekend. Tigers tonight, Cowboys tomorrow. Hey, Cliff, you got another Cowboy fan, bro. Ray Langwell, love T-Bob's Alabama Dynasty rant. I texted him, I was like, man, that was brilliant. But next time do it on Off the Bench, not on Jock's Roundtable in Birmingham. I was like, do it on your show, man. Let's see. Phil Stevens, Glenn Garner, Kevin Kaliba, Morning Scone. What's the play on unranked home favorites? Yeah, yes. So Iowa State is an auto play for me today. It's when an unranked team is favored over a ranked team, it's an auto play for me. When an unranked team is favored over a ranked team. So Iowa State today is an unranked team favored over a ranked Kansas team. So yes, Iowa State is an auto play for me today. Iowa State -3. How does T-Bob drink mezcal? I tried on vacation multiple times. Each time it was disgusting. I think T-Bob could drink anything. He's just a machine. You know, just turn him on and go. Andrew Scott, secondary, is going to step up today, Matt. Sure. Let's see, Max said, haven't heard Aaron Anderson's name in a while. He played a lot in the second half against Army, but I mean, at this point, it's fair to ask, like, why? What is on Corso's hand? Like, why would you want Aaron Anderson in the game? Like, I've had people say that to me, like, hey, they need to get Aaron Anderson more involved. Why? You're literally the #1 offense in the country. What you're doing is working. If you're going to get Aaron Anderson in the game, then you're taking touches and targets away from Malik Neighbors and Brian Thomas and Kyron Lacey and your backs. Like, I'm quite okay with it the way it is. You're literally the best offense in the country. So, Jude McLaren, watching in the airport, just saw my first Bama shirt. Trent Dillahuse, can you repeat Phil Steele's picks? Alondra uploaded the wrong podcast yesterday. You can watch it on YouTube. If you go to the 104.5 ESPN YouTube channel, you can get the video of the show. She just uploaded the wrong date. God dog it. By the way, this is why you don't have fall weddings. So Musso wasn't there yesterday, so Alondra had to fill in. I'm not mad at her. I mean, it's like she's filling in. She's a backup. So like she was, doing a favor. But Musso wasn't there yesterday. The Friday before Bama, Musso's not there because he had a wedding because his rude friends decided to have a wedding the week of the Bama game. Selfish sons of buggers. I'll try to do this from memory on Phil's picks. Yeah, Texas laying 3.5. Under in Notre Dame, Clemson, although that number's dropped. You get A&M with the 3. I don't remember his play on Arkansas, Florida. That might have been a no play. Army Air Force under. Georgia laying the 15. Oklahoma State with the points. Penn State to cover. Louisville to cover. Iowa State laying the 3. USC. No, actually, the play was the over. He liked USC, but his favorite play in the USC Washington was the over. The number 77.5, but still like the over. Kentucky, Mississippi State. I think he had Mississippi State in the points. I don't remember that exactly. Boise was one of his plays on the Phil Steele Plus Tour as well. Okay. That's what I remember off the top. Kenneth Jackson, LSU's D-line is to play with a sense of urgency. This game, not get up the field as much. Who would you rather have after this year for the Saints, DA or Riverboat Ron? Riverboat Ron. Dude's been to a Super Bowl. At least he's proven he can be a head coach. All right, y'all. Get a few more here. Tate Granger, morning, Matt. Still not trusting our defense. No way we lose a shootout. See, Tate, you lost a shootout against Ole Miss. So I don't know how you can say there's no way. I mean, you lost a road conference game in a shootout. And you were in a game like that against Missouri, and you managed to make the plays. So, road conference games, you've been in 2 of those, and you won 1 and lost 1. So I don't know how you can definitively say there's no way we're losing a shootout, because you've lost 1 of those already. At least we're not Florida. David Wood, got to say again, Matt, since Brian Kelly stepped in and started working with the defense, it's helped a little. Does it mean Brian Kelly stepping in that Matt House is gone after the season? I don't know that that's what that means. I mean, I don't think Matt House is back either way. You just can't have the type of regression you did this year and stand pat. Has Jeremiah Hughes played another game than Auburn? Army. Let's see. Let's see. He played against Grambling. Jeremiah Hughes played in 8 games. So he's been playing special teams then. He had, let's say, he played, but he's played in all 8 games. Hughes has played in all 8 games. It's been mostly special teams. Matt Lusta quit. Yeah, he actually said quite. Quite being such a negative Nancy, Matt. We can fix her. We're ready to be heard again. Okay. Mike the Tiger, at least we're not Florida. What's happening with Drew? I don't know. Drew's just sitting there watching his iPad right now. Matt, there's time during Whiskey and Wine. Can you start answering questions from your text line? Sometimes like Bob does with the chat. Sure. We try to keep it to the people that are watching to get their comments in there. And I know a lot of people do super chats, which is like they're paying to have their comment highlighted, so that's why he reads those. But yeah, I don't mind. I'll do my best to make sure I look at that. There's just a lot going on when we're doing the show, from especially when we're going through game through. I'm going through my notes, and then I'm looking at Facebook and YouTube comments, and trying to keep it going while T-Bob is being T-Bob. But yes, we'll do our best. Ryan Slate, good morning, Matt. I'm going to Maryland, Penn State today. Okay, very cool. Should have good weather there too, I'd imagine. Ryan Dunn, Musso would have friends get married this weekend and last weekend too. Jaden Daniels is the hottest quarterback in the country. Tonight will be his Heisman moment. Richard Head, either way. Tonight, looking forward to the post-game therapy, whiskey and wine. If we come up short, celebration for the win. Yep. Alondra is great. She's work. Alondra is great. I don't know that Alondra has a bigger fan at Guarantee than me. I am actively trying to get Alondra more and more and more opportunities. She's great. She is fantastic. She just uploaded the wrong podcast the day before LSU Alabama, which is not great, but we'll see if we can get that fixed. Royal Payne, 38-27 Bama. I don't see, if LSU scores in the 20s, then yes, they're losing the game. I don't know that, and I could see Bama scoring 38. I don't know that I see Bama holding LSU to 27. If LSU scores 27 in this game, it was a lot of their own undoing. Fumble, missing open receivers, deflected interception sort of thing. Let's see. Phil still like Bama to cover. He did. Phil picked Bama. Matt, any guess what time LSU Florida kicks off? Yeah, I talked about this a bit ago. If LSU wins tonight, they'll play at 2:30 on CBS. CBS. The thing I'll tell y'all, and I just know this over the years, CBS has always said they want at least one game in Tiger Stadium every year. So they're not going to pick the A&M game for 2:30 because that's going to be Iron Bowl and y'all the rivalry weekend. So LSU A&M is not going to be 2:30, and A&M is could be a 5-loss team. So they're not going to pick LSU A&M. So really, next weekend's Florida would be the only opportunity for CBS to have a game in Tiger Stadium. So if LSU wins tonight and Florida beats Arkansas, LSU Florida next week will be 2:30. If LSU loses tonight, then Florida LSU next week will be the night game on ESPN. Bo Jacks, remember before the season we thought we had a more favorable schedule because our East opponent was Missouri, not Tennessee. It looks like Missouri might be the better team. I don't know about Tennessee last year, like how quickly they forget. Tennessee last year was, until the Hendon Hooker injury, they were the best offense in the country. They were awesome. Missouri's a nice team, but you went on the road and you beat Missouri. But if you're just talking about like this year, Missouri and Tennessee, I'm saying but my point earlier in the year was last year you had to play that Tennessee team and lost. This year you got Missouri and you won. So clearly that trade-off was a plus for LSU. That's what I meant. Corso picked Missouri for the upset on Georgia. Oof. Right. Why would CBS not want Georgia Ole Miss next week? It's not that they wouldn't want them, Tiger Divers. I just told you. CBS wants a game in Tiger Stadium every year. And if LSU beats Alabama, then why wouldn't you want? Because LSU would theoretically be in the lead for the West, and I think most probably assume Georgia Ole Miss is going to be a route next week in Athens. So that's why. Do you think hidden yardage issues in connection with lack of consistently fielding punts will be an issue tonight? Yes, I do, because that's been an issue every game this year, and I don't know that Greg Clayton fixes that. I hope he does, but yes, I do think that will be an issue. All right. I think we're done. I got to get Drew to dressed and get him to go to ride the elevators and back in 40 minutes. So I got to watch Ole Miss and Texas A&M. Excited about that one. The 11 a.m. slate is really good. The early games. Darius Rucker. Early games today look really good, man. I'm excited about it. Kansas State and Texas should be really good. A&M, Ole Miss, Notre Dame, Clemson. It's some really good games at 11 a.m. Looking forward to it. All right, y'all. Let's bounce. As always, shout out to Brock, Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic. You need an orthopedist, call Brock. Need a roof, give us a shout out to Hudco, HudcoRoofing.com. HUDCO's pinned in the chat. Would love it if you'd click that link and let us give you a free, no obligation roofing inspection. All right. Go Tigers. Remember, Eagle 98.1 game day starts 5 hours prior to kickoff. So we're looking at a 1:45 start for Eagle 98.1 game day. And we'll see y'all tonight for Whiskey and Wine at Dan Juan Cigar Bar. Go Tigers. Beat Bama. We'll see you. Peace.